Hi, this is Cayden from my Kinesis Value Investing Academy. Now, I'm also known as the value investor who has went almost bankrupt in year 2001, went through 2 rounds of cancer, one episode in 2010, and the second episode is 2014, and then eventually I became financially free in my late 30s. So what's going to happen in this video is going to be very exciting because I'm going to share with you one key reason why most people are struggling with their retirement, struggling with their money, but yet somewhere out there, whether it's in Singapore or other parts of the world, there are some people who do not struggle with money. But in fact, they do very well with their money. They become wealthier than most of the people. But the question is, what are the things that this group of people know, but most of the people don't? But let me share with you the conventional wisdom that all of us have. You know, all of us, during our younger days, our parents always snapped at us and wanted us to go to school. And of course, in a Singapore context, whether it's in Singapore, whether it's in Malaysia, or whether it's in any parts of the world, you know, our parents always wanted us to do well in life. So what do they encourage us to do? They encourage us to go to school, which is the right thing to do. So I realized that about 20 plus years ago, I graduated from National University of Singapore with a 2 degree and 1 master degree. So my first degree is Bachelor of Science in Biology. My second degree is Bachelor of Science in Zoology. And my third degree is Master of Science again. So I spent most of the time studying science. So after I graduated from university, I did something that all of us do. That start with the letter W. Give a guess. What do you think this W stands for? Now, I'm quite sure you know. This W stands for work. So after we finish school, you know all of us have to work. So my question to you is this. Have you come across anyone that you know, after they graduated from any schools, they don't have to work? Now, I'm quite sure you couldn't find any one of this. So now the question is, how long do we have to work? Now, this was the question I asked myself many years ago after I worked for about maybe 5-6 years. I keep asking myself, I keep working day and night, but how many years do I have to work? So before we talk about how many years to work, let's look at the official retirement age in Singapore. Now, based on the retirement law from the Ministry of Manpower, our official retirement age is 62. So in other words, a typical employer cannot call us to or request us to retire if we haven't reached 62. So let's say I graduated from university in early 20s. And from 20 to 62, give a guess. How many years do I have to work? Now, you're right. Simple arithmetic is 42 years. So now the question is, if life really have a choice, do we want to choose to work more than 42 years? Or do you want to choose to work less than 42 years? Now, obviously, most of the people will say, hey, Cayden, obviously, I want to choose to work less than 42 years. But the question we have to ask is, since we all desire to work less than 42 years, but of course, if today we don't have to work, tomorrow we don't have to work, that's the best. So we desire to work less than 42 years. The school that we went to, did they teach us to work less than 42 years? Or did they teach us to work more than 42 years? Yeah, obviously they teach us to work more than 42 years. But the question is why? Now, for obvious reasons, if the schools that we went to teach us to work less than 42 years, then who's going to work in Singapore? And all of you know that in Singapore, we are short of labor, and our government initiative is to recruit foreign talent. So if all of us wanted to become, to retire less than 42 years, then who's going to work? Now, which brings us to the most important point for this video. So why do most people struggle with money and a small minority don't? Because the schools that we have been to has trained us to work. But now the question is, to work for who? Now, if you're working as an executive, you look up, maybe you work for a manager. But who does the manager report to? Maybe the director. And who does the director report to? And go all the way up, probably it's the CEO. So now the question is, who does the CEO report to? And if the CEO look up, the CEO may realize that they are the highest paid employee in the entire company. So the CEO has to report to the board of directors. So who does the board of directors report to? Now, these board of directors are a committee that's being organized to run the company, and they hire people like the CEO, CFO, and so on. So these board of directors are hired to report to the shareholders, or maybe in this video I call them the business owners. So let me ask you, as when you look at the Forbes list, or maybe you do look at any research that lists out the richest people in the world, now ask yourself this, which is the one that are the richer people? Are they the one that works for a business, or are they the one that owns a business? Now the answer is they are the one that owns a business. But don't take my word for it. So I want you to look at the Forbes richest list and look at the richest person in the world right now. So who's the richest people in the world right now? This person is somebody that you're familiar with, and this person is called Bill Gates. And did Bill Gates work for a business, or does Bill Gates owns a business? So everybody knows Bill Gates owns Microsoft, but of course he no longer runs it, even though he owns a business. So if he no longer runs it, somebody is working for Microsoft, somebody is working for him. And if I continue the list downwards, the second one is Warren Buffett, which is the second richest man in the world. So he owns about 46 or 47 businesses. He doesn't work for one. And if I go on the list, whether it's the third one, the fourth one, you know, some of the names will get more and more familiar. For example, people who own Oracle, people who own Walmart. And you realize that as the list goes downwards, even the richest person in Hong Kong, Li Ka-shing, the richest person in Singapore, every single one is a business owner. So the key thing is, if you want to have more money in life, you want to have less struggle in life in terms of financial resources, then we need to be a business owner and not to work for a business. So right now, the next question is, how do we become a business owner then? Now, in my subsequent video, I'll share with you exactly how you can own a business so that eventually you can work less than 42 years, and of course, you can retire less than most of the people. So keep a watch out for my second video. Thank you, Cayden Chang from VIA, Value Investing Academy.